Story 1. My boyfriend wants to move in with me. I want him to live alone first. My boyfriend and I have been together 10 months. He lives with his parents, 50s M plus F, and younger brothers, 10, 16, 18, no sisters. Before current events he was over my place basically every night. A couple nights ago he said that he wants to move in with me, if I'm up for it. I've been to his place more than once, and I've seen how their dynamic works. His mother does everything for all 5 men in that house. Cooking, cleaning, the works. Basically all they have to do is put their laundry away after she washes, dries, irons, folds it. The reason the parents aren't forcing them to contribute is that this was the parents' agreement. He works, she's a stay-at-home, so she raises the kids, runs the household and he pays for everything, with one of the clauses being that as she's doing everything there's no need to involve the boys. As a result, my boyfriend cannot do anything. I don't know how much of this is actual cluelessness and how much is him trying to get out of stuff, but he has told me, completely sincere, and I checked this with his mother, that he can't even fry an egg. Which is why, when my boyfriend suggested moving in together, I said I wanted him to live alone first. His plan was basically to go straight from his mother's house to my flat. I told him my hesitation, which is that he can't do chores. He then offered to pay more rent, 75%, in exchange for me doing all the chores. I said no, I don't want to be his mother, or his maid, I want to be his girlfriend. Then I told him I wanted him to live alone. Go from his mother's house to his own place. Figure out how to do all the things he's never done for himself. Learn some basic life skills, and then revisit us living together. This has caused a huge argument, biggest we've ever had. He's taken me saying he has no life skills as an insult, which it kind of was to be fair, and has basically said that clearly I don't want to live with him at all as I've pushed the moving in time back and have only said we'd revisit, after a few months of him living alone, and I did say, revisit, because I wanted to make sure he actually knew what he was doing and wouldn't immediately switch back to offering more rent for no chores. This was all a couple nights ago and he's just stopped talking to me. He's at his mom's, he's online, he's talking to mutual friends who have said he is responding, he just won't answer any of my calls, texts. He's told our friends what happened and they're all on his side, saying I was really mean, cruel. I love him, and I do want to live with him eventually, I just don't want to live with him if I'm doing everything, and the one thing I don't want is him paying extra for me to do all the housework. Is there some sort of compromise, or some option I'm not seeing? What can I do to fix this? TLDR. Boyfriend is incapable of doing any household chores. He wants to move in together. I don't want to be his maid. We can't find a compromise and I would love any suggestions. Update. He called me and agreed to talk. He then basically said that he was never going to be willing to learn to do anything, and even suggested dividing up the chores, then I do my half and he hire a maid to do his half. Suffice to say this was something of a turnoff and by the end of the conversation we broke up. Story 2. 31M. Husband cheated on, 27F. Me with his fit and skinny gym friend. I came home from work early, I'm an OB nurse so my hours are pretty unpredictable, and found female sneakers in the garage that weren't mine. At that point, I sort of already knew what I'd be walking into. My husband has recently become very fit and has been consistently going to the gym, during which he made a female friend who he even brought home for dinner last week. She's beautiful and thin and everything I am not, which instantly made me feel horrible. So, I talked to him about it. He encouraged me to build my confidence and reassured me he loved me and would always be loyal to me. I walked into the laundry room from the garage and sort of tiptoed around the house before going upstairs. They were having sex. In our bed. With a framed picture from our wedding above the nightstand next to it. I silently left the room and got back in my car with tears streaming down my face and drove to get food and just sat in my car crying since. It's now almost 1 a.m., walked in on them at 7 p.m., and I've returned to the hospital. He called me asking why I wasn't home and I told him my shift is extended but in reality, I'm laying in one of the on-call rooms bawling my eyes out as I type this. I feel so worthless and ugly and stupid. I don't even know how to proceed. On one hand I want to divorce him and never see him again, but on the other hand, I'm an ugly woman. It's not like I can do better. I just want to die. I feel so gross and the self-loathing is getting too much right now. Advice please. Edit. Thank you all for the kind comments and support. Please stop commenting, however. I think I've heard just about everything, including some horrible things about my weight. I don't care about internet points, or whatever, and the notifications are getting crazy. Reading through these comments has been a nice way to keep myself sane these past few hours. I still have no idea what I am going to do, and I know everyone wants me to leave, but a marriage is more than can be illustrated with a couple of words on a website. He was a great husband and I can't help but feel at fault for neglecting myself weight-wise. I don't know if I will stay, but that's all I really know right now. Edit. I didn't expect this to blow up as much as it did, and while I'm incredibly grateful for all the nice and supportive comments, please stop messaging me about how I should stop eating or laugh at me for expecting a faithful husband while being overweight. It is incredibly upsetting and I am already going through a lot. I feel I need to clarify since everyone seems to care that I had food after I found out. I had been working a shift from 7 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. during which I had been all over the place. I had lunch at 11 a.m. and nothing else until I left. I was starving and hurt and driving around with tears streaming down my face. Please stop harassing me about that.